Tiffany has become the center of controversy as both the mayor of Dalton and the supervisor of Thorne Township. While she claims innocence in the face of an FBI investigation into her alleged misuse of town funds, many wonder if she is truly a victim or if there's more to her story. Her dual roles come with significant responsibilities, and Tiffany is known for her hands-on approach to community service. She often helps residents with urgent needs, like covering power bills or funeral costs, positioning herself as a local hero. However, this practice raises ethical questions, especially since she earns over $200,000 a year from both positions, more than some residents make in 5 years before her election in 2021. Tiffany faced criticism for holding too much power. Critics labeled her a super mayor, and her leadership style has been deemed cunning, particularly after she established a breast cancer charity funded by taxpayer money. While her intentions may seem admirable, the reliance on public funds has sparked outrage, especially given Dalton's pressing financial issues, including a $2 million deficit. The FBI's interest in Tiffany escalated from local gossip to serious scrutiny as they investigate her financial dealings. Allegations suggest she may have misappropriated funds for personal gain. Tiffany, however, remains defiant, claiming it's all a misunderstanding and that someone is attempting to frame her. This assertion is met with skepticism, particularly as the FBI employs electronic surveillance to monitor her spending habits. Adding to the drama is her right-hand man, Freeman Keith, who is facing accusations of bankruptcy fraud. His cooperation with investigators could further complicate Tiffany's situation, as both are now under investigation for their financial activities. In her defense, Tiffany cites threats to her safety as a reason for her extensive security measures, which some view as excessive. She argues that her security detail is justified under a collective bargaining agreement, but doubts linger about whether this level of protection is truly warranted as the investigation continues. Former employees and local business owners are being questioned. Some have alleged that Tiffany has targeted individuals who don't support her politically, further complicating her claims of serving the community. This raises serious ethical concerns about her leadership and whether she is genuinely working for the people or primarily for her own benefit. Tiffany's lavish spending on first-class flights, luxury hotels, and expensive dinners starkly contrasts with the struggles of her constituents. While she attempts to project an image of a dedicated public servant, her lifestyle suggests a troubling disconnect from the financial realities faced by many in Dalton. As the situation unfolds, the public is left to ponder Tiffany's true motives. Is she genuinely serving her community, or is she more focused on her personal gain? With the FBI closing in and public scrutiny mounting, the stakes have never been higher for Tiffany. The outcome of this investigation could dramatically alter her political future and the governance of Dalton. Tiffany's situation has shifted dramatically from mere local gossip to an FBI investigation, raising eyebrows about her conduct as the mayor of Dalton. It turns out the FBI is not just interested because of local whispers. They are actively probing whether she has been misusing town funds. They're talking to various individuals, trying to determine if she's been indulging in any unethical practices. The feds are serious about their inquiry, utilizing electronic surveillance to track her spending, making the scenario feel like something straight out of a crime thriller. While Tiffany claims innocence and insists she's being framed, the fact remains that the FBI doesn't investigate without substantial reason. Their focus isn't limited to her salary. They're scrutinizing her charity work, political funds, and personal business dealings, searching for any signs of financial misconduct. The situation has only gotten juicier, especially with Tiffany's right-hand man, Freeman Keith, being implicated in bankruptcy fraud. His cooperation with investigators could have serious implications for Tiffany in her defense. Tiffany has pointed to her extensive security detail, claiming it's necessary due to threats against her life. She asserts that having around 45 officers on security is justified under the collective bargaining agreement. Yet this raises questions. Is her need for security genuinely about threats, or is there more to the story as the FBI continues to dig? They've spoken to former employees and local business owners, some of whom allege that Tiffany has targeted those who don't support her politically or financially. This paints a troubling picture of her leadership style. While Tiffany argues that her credit card expenditures are legitimate, her statements clash with the reality of her lavish lifestyle. How can a small-town mayor justify first-class flights and luxury hotels while her city grapples with a $2 million deficit? While Dalton struggles financially, Tiffany seems to be living a life of luxury, with extravagant dinners and upscale accommodations that appear more suited for a celebrity than a public servant. This raises significant concerns about how taxpayer money is being utilized. What seems like a few perks here, and there quickly escalates into thousands of dollars spent on personal expenses disguised as official travel. It's as if Tiffany has an all-access pass to the town's finances, and she isn't shy about using it. Adding to the controversy, her billboards, featuring her image and funded by taxpayers, are raising eyebrows. Many see this as an illegal use of public funds for self-promotion as Tiffany continues to defend her actions. The reality is that many residents are questioning whether she is genuinely serving the community or prioritizing her own comfort and image. With pressing issues facing Dalton, like infrastructure problems and community needs, the perception is that Tiffany is more focused on her public persona than on addressing the town's challenges as the investigation unfolds. Tiffany's claims of innocence are met with skepticism. The connection between her spending habits and Dalton's financial woes is drawing scrutiny, leading many to wonder where the town's money is truly going. Is it being funneled into essential services, or is it financing her lavish lifestyle? The ongoing situation raises serious ethical questions about Tiffany's leadership. While she maintains her innocence, the evidence against her continues to mount. Residents are left to ponder whether Tiffany has lost touch with the realities they face daily, and if she can reclaim her narrative amidst the growing controversy. Tiffany's lavish lifestyle has become a focal point of controversy, especially since taxpayers are funding much of it. The state explicitly prohibits public officials from using taxpayer dollars for personal promotion, yet Tiffany seems unconcerned. In cities like New Orleans, there are strict policies against city officials flying first class or staying in luxury accommodations, which raises questions about Tiffany's choices while residents in Dalton struggle to make ends meet. Tiffany appears to be living like a celebrity, indulging in first-class flights, upscale hotels, and extravagant dinners. This stark contrast has led many to wonder if she has lost touch with the community she's supposed to serve. People are not just concerned about how she's spending money. They're also questioning what she's failing to address in Dalton. With pressing issues facing the town, her focus seems more on her image than on the needs of her constituents. Despite these criticisms, Tiffany is adamant about her innocence, asserting that everything she has done is legitimate. However, skepticism persists. Many residents are beginning to connect the dots between her spending habits and Dalton's financial struggles, prompting tough questions about where the town's money is actually going. Is it being allocated to essential services like road repairs and school funding, or is it financing her personal lifestyle? The controversy deepens with her breast cancer charity, which some claim is funded by taxpayer money. This has led to further doubts about her intentions. Are her efforts genuinely aimed at helping those in need, or are they simply for show? Tiffany is fighting back against these allegations, insisting she's a victim of a political conspiracy aimed at ousting her from office. She argues that the FBI investigation, lawsuits, and accusations are part of a larger plot against her. But is she genuinely the target of a master plan? Or is this just a strategy to deflect scrutiny from her actions? Her security detail has also sparked conversation. Tiffany claims that the threats to her life justify the extensive security she has in place. Yet it's unclear what specific dangers she faces. Is this heightened security truly necessary? Or is it another way for her to maintain a certain image while living luxuriously on the taxpayer's dime? Tiffany insists that everything she has done is above board. But residents are left asking for proof. Where are the receipts to back up her claims? As she points fingers at the trustees, labeling them as the real villains in her story, the question remains: who is telling the truth while Tiffany claims she is a hero in this narrative? The mounting evidence against her raises serious doubts. Many residents feel that the focus should not be on her political battles, but rather on the everyday realities they face, which seem to be overshadowed by her high-profile spending and self-promotion. The ongoing scrutiny into Tiffany's actions and the FBI's involvement will likely keep this saga in the headlines, leaving the community to grapple with the implications of her leadership. Will she be able to clear her name and prove her innocence? Or will the mounting evidence lead to further questions about her integrity? Only time will tell as this story continues to unfold. Tiffany's first-class flights and five-star hotel stays came under fire. She quickly defended her lavish expenses as essential to her role as mayor. However, the scrutiny didn't stop there. Tiffany is also embroiled in multiple lawsuits from former employees, which she claims are nothing more than attacks from her enemies. In her eyes, these lawsuits aren't legitimate grievances, but rather part of a larger conspiracy to undermine her leadership. But Tiffany isn't the only one in hot water. Enter Keith Freeman, her ex-boyfriend and former right-hand man, who is now at the center of the drama. Freeman faces accusations of bankruptcy fraud and has chosen to cooperate with the FBI, potentially revealing crucial information about Tiffany's spending habits. Once her go-to guy, Freeman's decision to act as a whistleblower could have serious repercussions for Tiffany. Freeman's cooperation with authorities raises the stakes significantly. He's been privy to Tiffany's financial decisions since she took office, and if he starts disclosing everything he knows, it could complicate her claims of innocence. Tiffany's attorneys have tried to paint her as a naive newcomer who relied heavily on Freeman for financial guidance. But with Freeman now cooperating with the FBI, that narrative could easily unravel. The dynamic between Tiffany and Freeman is a complex one. While Tiffany may attempt to cast him as the scapegoat, he holds the key to much of the evidence against her. If he reveals the full extent of her financial mismanagement, Tiffany may find it difficult to maintain her innocent facade. The looming question remains: how much does Freeman really know, and will it be enough to implicate Tiffany? Now, let's address a critical issue: the missing millions. Tiffany has touted her ability to bring in substantial revenue for Dalton, reportedly $15 million. But the town's financial situation tells a different story. Dalton is currently grappling with a $2 million deficit, a significant hole that raises eyebrows about her claims. If she's genuinely generating all this revenue, where's the money going? Tiffany insists that she is the town's financial savior, claiming she has a magic touch when it comes to bringing in funds. Yet, the reality of Dalton's financial situation contradicts her assertions. While she claims to be a significant contributor, the town's accounts suggest a troubling disconnect. Her repeated explanations place the blame squarely on the trustees, whom she accuses of failing to pay bills. Despite the income she claims to be generating, the narrative Tiffany presents raises even more questions. If she is indeed bringing in $15 million, why does the town's financial health remain in such disarray? Her allegations about the trustees not managing the budget appropriately only add to the complexity of the situation. It raises concerns about accountability and transparency within her administration as the investigations unfold. Tiffany's claims will be scrutinized, and her spending patterns will be placed under the microscope. She may be living luxuriously while the town struggles financially, and that stark contrast could ultimately become her downfall in this high-stakes drama. Tiffany's relationship with Freeman is pivotal. His willingness to cooperate with the FBI could expose cracks in her narrative and challenge her assertions of innocence. Meanwhile, the townspeople are left questioning who they can trust and whether Tiffany's leadership has truly benefited Dalton. The unfolding story hints at deep-rooted issues within Dalton's administration, and Tiffany's fate hangs in the balance. As more details emerge, both Tiffany and Freeman may find that the truth has a way of coming to light. Regardless of how well they attempt to control the narrative, people are beginning to seriously question where all the money Tiffany claims to be generating for Dalton is actually going. With accusations swirling that she's abusing her position for personal gain, many are scrutinizing her personal expenses charged to township credit cards. Are her priorities truly aligned with the needs of Dalton, or is she more focused on her own benefits? Sure, it sounds impressive to raise $15 million for the community, but if that money isn't actually making a difference for the people it's intended to help, what's the point? Dalton continues to struggle financially, with bills going unpaid and the deficit growing. Meanwhile, Tiffany is living luxuriously and bragging about her achievements. This has led to an urgent question: where's the $15 million going? Residents are starting to doubt that Dalton's coffers are actually seeing any of it. Is the money getting lost somewhere along the way? Does it ever even reach the town? The community deserves answers, and Tiffany has a lot of explaining to do, especially with the FBI now investigating these financial concerns while she claims innocence and suggests she's being set up. the numbers are telling a different story. Instead of addressing these serious allegations, Tiffany seems to be playing a different game altogether. While the feds sift through her receipts, she's busy serving up pop culture references and making jokes as if she's auditioning for a comedy show. It's as if Tiffany is trying to turn politics into a joke, and her antics have certainly gotten people talking. Tiffany is taking her outreach to the next level by engaging with younger constituents and employing humor in her approach. She's even shown up to board meetings in costumes, which some view as unprofessional. Yet, she's brushing off the criticism with a laugh, insisting it's all part of her effort to connect. You might wonder why someone in her position would be engaging in such antics, especially with the FBI on her tail. But Tiffany appears determined to change the narrative despite her controversies. A faction of the town remains staunchly supportive of her, attending meetings and defending her on social media. There's a palpable split in the community. Hashtag Team Tiffany versus hashtag Team FBI. While some are amused by her antics, others see them as a distraction from the serious issues at hand. Tiffany has termed this criticism a smear campaign, and her followers seem to be rallying behind her, perhaps influenced by the billboards that prominently feature her face. This newfound fame, however, comes with significant pressure. Tiffany is claiming she wants to promote transparency and accountability while maintaining her lavish lifestyle. She's putting on a show, but the real drama is just starting. With the FBI scrutinizing her financial activities and numerous lawsuits pending from former employees, Tiffany's grip on her position could be slipping. 3 former employees have alleged that Tiffany fired them for refusing to cooperate with her questionable dealings, including efforts to punish business owners who didn't support her and attempts to keep public records under wraps. Those are serious allegations that could have far-reaching consequences. The FBI isn't just casually poking around. They're going into full detective mode, interviewing business owners and ex-employees, and closely examining every dollar Tiffany has spent. So, what's next for Tiffany? If these lawsuits progress and the FBI uncovers something incriminating, she could face dire consequences, including losing her job, hefty fines, or worse. Yet, Tiffany has shown a knack for working the crowd and capturing public attention. Even amid turmoil, she may be navigating a rocky road ahead, but don't count her out just yet. Her ability to engage with the community and charm her supporters could serve her well as she faces these mounting challenges. The question remains, will she be able to leverage her popularity to weather the storm, or will the pressure of the investigations and lawsuits ultimately bring her down? Only time will tell what fate awaits Dalton's most talked about Mayor Tiffany's tenure, as mayor has transformed into a whirlwind of drama. And with costume parties at board meetings and her over-the-top antics, it seems she's got a few tricks up her sleeve. One thing's for sure, the drama is far from over. The FBI is still digging, and more people are coming forward with stories that could lead to some major revelations. The community is divided, with some betting that Tiffany's days in office are numbered, while others remain fiercely loyal, claiming she's brought more attention to Dalton than anyone else ever has. This saga is unfolding like a suspenseful thriller, and the cliffhangers just keep coming. With Tiffany seemingly living large on taxpayer funds, many are asking if this is what being a mayor is really all about. Social media is ablaze with discussions about her innocence, but it doesn't seem like many are buying it. Critics argue that as long as politicians continue to escape serious consequences for misappropriating public funds, the cycle of abuse will persist. People of all backgrounds are calling for accountability, believing that those who steal taxpayer dollars should face imprisonment and be removed from office. Yet, every post Tiffany makes online seems to fuel her growing fame, turning her into a local celebrity. The town is split right down the middle. Hashtag Team Tiffany versus hashtag Team FBI. While Tiffany claims she wants transparency and accountability, she's also refusing to renounce her lavish lifestyle. Instead, she's putting on a show, trying to spin the narrative in her favor. As the real drama unfolds behind the scenes, Tiffany is now grappling with multiple lawsuits from former employees who allege they were fired for not cooperating with her questionable dealings. These aren't just minor grievances. We're talking about serious allegations involving retaliation against business owners who didn't support her and attempts to keep public records hidden. The FBI is no longer just casually investigating. They're diving deep, interviewing business owners and ex-employees, and scrutinizing every penny Tiffany has spent. Despite her claims that everything is a sham, the truth may soon come to light if these lawsuits go through and the FBI uncovers anything fishy. Tiffany could be in serious trouble. We're talking about the potential loss of her job, hefty fines, or even criminal charges. Yet, Tiffany has proven she knows how to work a crowd, using social media stunts and engaging antics to maintain her popularity. She might think she's found a way to dodge the storm brewing on the horizon, but from where we're sitting, it looks like the tempest is just getting started. Is Tiffany genuinely the victim of a setup, as she claims, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? The FBI's investigation continues, and with each passing day, it seems more revelations could surface. Meanwhile, Tiffany appears to be continuing her high-flying lifestyle on taxpayer money, and many are questioning whether this is how a mayor should conduct herself. Fans and critics alike are weighing in on Tiffany's situation, with many feeling disillusioned. Until politicians face serious consequences for misappropriating funds, the public sentiment is likely to remain skeptical. Tiffany's supporters argue that she's an easy target, overshadowing the real issues at play. But for how long can she maintain this facade as the investigations ramp up and more individuals come forward with their accounts? The community is on edge, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this unfolding saga. The tension is palpable, with the possibility of bombshells looming just around the corner. Will Tiffany be able to charm her way through the storm, or will the truth ultimately catch up with her? The stakes are high, and the pressure is mounting. Tiffany has already weathered a considerable amount of scrutiny, but the scrutiny is only set to intensify as the FBI dives deeper. The narrative is shifting, and with allegations swirling around her, her claim of innocence is beginning to waver. The town is watching closely, and as the community splits into factions, it's clear that this drama isn't just about one person's fate. It's about the integrity of the entire town for now. Tiffany is putting on a brave face, insisting that she's the victim of a conspiracy, while her lifestyle raises eyebrows and suspicions. As public confidence erodes, she must confront the reality of her situation. The consequences of her actions could very well lead to her downfall. With the FBI scrutinizing her financial dealings and former employees stepping forward, the question remains, how long can she keep the truth at bay? The saga of Tiffany as Dalton's mayor is evolving, and it's becoming a story of intrigue, betrayal, and possible redemption. Will she manage to flip the script and maintain her position, or will the weight of the allegations ultimately bring her crashing down? The town is captivated, and the next chapter is bound to be a roller coaster. Buckle up. It's going to be quite the ride.